Super Regional and take questions.
Excited again to be in this position. Any way you play this time of the year is obviously playing their best baseball. So we're excited about the opportunity to play at home in front of our home crowd and hopefully advance. We've done some extensive stuff on Wake already, and obviously the thing that sticks out about them is their offensive numbers. They've got 5 guys with double-digit homers. Sheets, their first baseman's got 20, and we've got 2 older starter pitchers, 2 seniors in Dunshee and Johnstone who pitched the first 2 games. They got a guy with a good arm named Sellers, and they got a closer that's 94, 96 with a power slider. So they're a very good club. They were very well coached. But coming off of last week, Alex continues to feel like he did, and our starters have been doing what they've been doing all year long. It'll give us a chance. So we're excited.
What's Alex done to position himself for the year he's had, and just what steps has he made during his career to get to this point?
Well, he's always won, and I think the thing that separates Alex from maybe most people in his position is he's been able to handle all the expectations in the draft. He's been awesome. And to see how he's kind of taken some of the younger guys under his wing, and it's been totally done on his own. I see him take Cole May under his wing as soon as Cole got here. He graduated high school early, and obviously, it's a big step in his life to move away from home, and skip his second semester of his senior year. And Alex took him under his wing, from day one. So I think that speaks to the character and the type of kid he is, and he just always seems to rise to the occasion. And last time out was the best he's pitched all year long, in my opinion. He was 94 to 96, pitched at 94, 95. His slider was 87, 88. He was on point both sides of the plate, and his changeup was the best it's been since he's been here. So he rose to the occasion, and he's got that ability.
I told you that Michael Byrne was going to set the UFC record before the season. Would it have surprised you? I mean, you're planning on him being a midweek guy, and just what he's been able to accomplish.
I would not have agreed with you at that point. I really wouldn't have. We tried him as our midweek starter. We knew that our pen was going to be a little bit light going into the season. I think we had an idea that our strength was going to be our starting pitching. We knew that, and I think we tried. I think it was the middle of March. We were playing Florida State, and we had those 3 freshmen throw the 1-0 shutout against Florida State. And I thought we were going in the right direction with some of these younger guys. But when we started SEC play, some of the freshmen just were not quite ready, and we had a decision to make because we were playing so many 1-run games. And Michael throws strikes, and he's a good athlete, and he just gave us the best chance to win at the end of the ball game. And he's got 3 pitches, and I don't know what now they got this thing called spin rate on the ball and swings and misses and that type of thing. But there's something he does that hitters just don't pick up. So between our starters and he's probably been our MVP.
Is that Tennessee game, the 3rd game, was that kind of the turning point where you said, all right, this is going to be our guy?
Yeah, he lost the first. I think he got the first 2 losses in that series, yeah. But I didn't think he threw poorly. I just think we just got beat, and that's why I ran him back out there again. And then I had the feeling, even though he got beat, that if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to put some good swings on the ball. And I think it was important for him to understand at that point, even though he had gotten the first 2 losses, that I had trust in him, and I think he's got the right demeanor for it, for that role, and he's got a short memory, and the kids really like playing behind him. He works fast, and I think he's got a lot of trust in our players.
And he's got a rubber arm, apparently. So
yeah, well, that normally we don't. You've been around me long enough to know that we don't try to be very cautious about pitch counts, that type of thing. I just think we just got into a situation where his arm does bounce back fairly well, and we'll manage it a lot easier this week. And like I said, he won't pick up a ball for the rest of the week. We still have a full 6-7 days of rest.
How much do you think it helped him last year? He didn't pitch much, but he had Logan Shore, A.J. Puck, Dane Dunning, Sean Anderson, that whole group of experienced guys to learn from and sort of get his bearings that first year.
I think it helped a lot. And I remember leaving the SEC tournament last year, and I was talking to Kyle Peterson, and he actually called it. He said that I think the guy that's going to surprise everybody next year is Michael Byrne. And I said, I agree with you. And we were talking about it, and so it's kind of a neat story. Like I said, he next year, who knows if he's starting, closing, I don't know. He just can fill a lot of different roles. But the way he's closed games this year, I don't know, it'd be hard pressed to get him out of that role at this point.
Go ahead.
Larson back practicing, or what's his status?
I think so, yeah. I think he'll be ready to go this weekend.
Well, what kind of impact can he have to the lineup, considering maybe guys were a little inconsistent last weekend hitting the ball?
He's been one of our most consistent hitters the entire year. I'm hoping, now knock on wood, nothing happens this week in practice, but this is going to be the first time I think that we're going to be at full strength the entire year. I'm going to have a couple guys throw today, make sure they're okay, and Ryan should be ready to go back in center field. And Guthrie seems to be doing fine, and Mikey caught multiple games back to back, and we should be in as good a shape as we've been all year long health-wise.
Don't practice.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
How much does being tested last weekend in the regionals you think help you guys to be ready now for this weekend?
Well, I'll say this: the opening night, Marist. I mean, they turn around Kolar, and he's throwing 94, 95, 96. I mean, everybody's good. That's what I think people. They look at the names of the teams you're playing, and they go, well, you're just going to kind of walk through this regional. And then I look at South Florida, and they're older. Their left-hander is 94 to 96, and they threw every single good reliever at us in one game. And they threw the whole kitchen sink at us. And it was not an easy game. And they're good. They're very good, and they're well coached. And then Bethune, the coaches in the state of Florida understand how good and how dangerous Bethune-Cookman is. That might have been the best outfield that I think I've seen in college baseball in a long, long time. Now, they played deep. They ran down everything. They all have plus arms. They have speed up and down their lineup. And their coaches do a heck of a job with less velocity, but for the most part, they all throw strikes. They play good defense for the most part. So, like when you talk to other coaches in the state of Florida, no one takes Bethune lightly. And it was a valuable lesson for us on Sunday night. I'm not saying that we took them for granted, but we certainly didn't play our best baseball. And hopefully, moving forward, that won't ever happen again. It can't, or your season's going to be over. So, we've been tested the whole year. We played a ton of one-run games, and it's not been easy. Sometimes it's not been pretty. But our job as a coaching staff is to figure out how to win games. It's just that simple. And if it's a 1-0 game, if it's a 4-3 game, if it's 10-9, it's our job to figure out how to try to score one more run than the other team. And we're 45-17. We're number 3 national seed, and we've been to the Supers 7 out of 9 years. So it's been a different team. It's not been easy, but we've somehow figured out a way to win games, and that's the most important thing.
Were you at all reluctant to put Michael in the closer role because he doesn't throw the like in the past when you've had some guys, Paco or Sean, that just you couldn't see it, and you could see his. Mm-hmm. But did that make you a little queasy about putting him as a closer?
Yeah, it's not classic stuff, but his fastball's good enough. I mean, his freshman year, he's probably 86 to 88. Now he touches 92. He pitches 89, 91. So the fastball's good enough. But the slider and change, I mean, he's like a starter getting 3 outs at the end of the game. You really can't sit on one pitch. Most closers, it's either all fastball or it's all spin. There's a little less pitchability, maybe more stuff. But he's got the ability to move the ball around and do a lot of different things. And it's a little less conventional, but it works. It's worked obviously for us this year.
You think your guys maybe take something from that next year? Because hey, here's a guy who threw strikes, didn't throw hard, crazy hard. Maybe if we do that, it'll work.
Well, I've got 3 or 4 freshman arms that are really talented, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago at the SEC tournament, and they're all like 90, 94, and even Dyson's 95, 96, 97. I'm hoping that as they're sitting there watching him pitch, that there's some valuable lessons to be taken away, and regardless of how hard you throw, you better command the ball. You better command the ball, and there's no better lesson to be learned by watching Michael Byrne pitch, because some of these other guys got better arms.
Is there anything else from an at-bat approach you want to see kind of improve based off last weekend going into this weekend?
No, it was just one of those weekends. Baseball's it's always up and down. It's never just one of those weekends. And like I said, I think Saturday's game against USF was a very difficult one for us because we saw every one of their good arms in one game. They threw the whole kitchen sink at us, and they're good. And they're good. It was hard for us to get into any type of rhythm. And then obviously, historically, we play teams that, with velocities that are not what we normally see on the weekend. We tend to struggle at times. It's true. And there's no excuse for it. It's just we don't see those types of arms on the weekend. And when we practice today, we won't see those types of arms there either. So it does disrupt your timing, and it gets a bit frustrating. It does. And but we got through it.
Going back to Wake, I know they play in a hitter-friendly ballpark, but their numbers are what they are. How do they compare to some of the other offenses you faced this year and some of the other challenges you faced?
Well, I mean, you think about it. I just got done playing Arkansas. They were good. We played Kentucky. They can hit. Vanderbilt. LSU's LSU. I mean, there's a lot of good offenses in our league. They can hit. But we can pitch. So we'll see. It'll be a classic matchup. It'll be very interesting.
And speaking of that, going back to Alex, when you recruited him and signed him, what confidence did you have in that he was going to become the guy he is?
I knew he was going to be good. I did. I saw him the summer of his going into his senior year. He was outstanding. I think he did something to his foot or something his senior year, and kind of slowed him down a little bit. But I knew he was going to be good. That's why he pitched on the weekend as a freshman. I mean, I'm not going to say I knew, but I did know he was going to be this good. It was just a matter of time.